Tim, how are you?
I'm good, Wendy. How are you doing?
I'm loving those little moves that you're doing there. What dance? Yeah, I like that. It's like
I have no idea. I just
it's a
make
little
it
bit
up.
maracas. Like if you had maracas here, I'm really liking it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to If These Walls Could Talk. I'm Wendy Stuart.
I'm Tym Moss.
And we are here for your listening pleasure today. And viewing
So
pleasure.
how was your week?
The weekend, not for nothing, but I felt like everything I did was for a cause, and it was actually fabulous. But I came back Sunday night. I wanted to go to Christina Visca's party called Birdcage that she gave at Jean's. Her parties are so great. Her DJs are so great. And I dropped the dog off in the house. I looked at my bed and I said, girl, you're not going nowhere. Because Saturday, I was at an event with Catskill Pride. And then that night, have you seen Paige Turner perform?
Oh, I love Paige. Yeah, we're all friends. Yeah.
I love Paige Turner.
Great.
And I hadn't seen Paige in ages. And she was at the Forestburg Playhouse and did this show about the 90s, which, brought back all that great 90s stuff, the stupid stuff, Beanie Babies, and of course, Sex and the City, and, all the night. It was really a great show. What I loved is I looked at the audience, which was, just regular people, that were seniors, all the off-color jokes that there was no way they could have understood. They were laughing hysterically at. I don't get. They were roaring. I'm like, there's no way they understood what she just said. And then, like Sunday, I was at the Port Jervis Fall Foliage Festival, raising money and awareness for TriVersity, which services the tri-state area and the LGBTQ community. And then, of course, Friday night, I Missed You Madly at Rock Bar. Yes. We screened Dragged to Death, which I'm working on. I really want to get this film in so many different bars in the next couple of weeks. It's such a great Halloween cult film.
It is. It's a very fun Halloween movie. Yeah.
It's a fun Halloween.
I played like a pervy, like a peeping Tom. Wasn't I like a peeping Tom or something?
It is so funny. I knew you lying. You're like, I'm a peeping Tom. It's
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And then it's a disease, like just in case anyone was going to judge you on it. It's a disease. I'm sorry. It was so funny. And I had to put up that picture of your demise on Facebook.
Yes, that was great. Thank you.
It was great. How are you? What's going on in your world?
Good. Yeah, it was my friend Jessica's birthday in the Bronx. And
cool.
So that's why I didn't leave in time to get down there. But yeah.
We can't be everywhere at once, know?
Exactly. And normally I can borough hop, but not that night.
I know. I have to say you do like really good at borough hopping, but in your own words, the trains are wearing. Last night I went to the opening at the Leslie Lohman Gallery for, I'm going to say it incorrectly, David Wojanowicz from back in the day. And it was all of these portraits of him with like a cutout of his face and everyone. It's quite an interesting show. I went with the amazing Joe Preston and from the Jackie Curtis estate, a very appropriate person to go with. We loved it, but I decided to take the train home because the train was right there. And I said to Joe, I'm hopping on the 6th train. I'll be home in a jiff. I had to change cars 3 times last night. The first car was started out normal, and then somebody that smelled really bad talking to themselves and was kind of rubbed up against my thigh sat down.
Boy.
Yeah, I was out of that car. Second car I went to, fairly empty. There was a reason for that.
Yeah, it usually is.
No air conditioning, right. So then I went into the third car where I thought I was okay, and there were 2, what they appeared normal, but they weren't. They're like, hey, why don't you come out with us? I'm like, leave me alone. I've been through train trauma. They're like, we'd like you to join us for dinner. I'm like, you guys are drunk, right? And they're like, is it obvious? I'm like, yeah. Thank God my stop came and I got off. But you must go through this on the train, like the train insanity.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even pay attention to it. I just, whatever. And
whatever. It's like, it gives people a pass to like have extremely bad behavior.
Yeah. Well, I had a kit blessing day the other day. Our friend came over and we hung out for a little while. Then we went down to the Actors Theater, or the American
ATA.
Theater for Actors.
Yeah.
And just saw the space, saw the theater there. And I think we're going to use that next spring, probably the end of April, 1st of May, to do Salvation. We're going to take a week and do Salvation down there, the play.
Which is great. Play. So you chose your theater then,
we got the theater chosen, and hopefully we can get that all set in motion. So fingers crossed.
Oh, fingers crossed. And that's a great space. I like where it's located, and I like the space itself. It's good.
A couple weeks ago, we had our shows up in Rochester. We took 50 Shades of Gay up there.
Yeah.
And my throat was just killing me. And I powered through, I sang through
because you're a pro.
Songs, but it killed my voice. I mean, it made my throat worse, and I was hoarse for almost 2 weeks. Wow. And so I went to the doctor I'm taking the last of my antibiotics tomorrow. So
great.
And it's really helped. I rehearsed a little bit today, and my throat is coming back. At least I'll be able to sing, because that's the first thought that always crosses my mind when something happens to my throat. I'm never going to be able to sing again. Oh my God.
Right. And maybe take it easy talking today. Just be easy on your voice.
Yeah, now I'm okay. The past couple weeks I was not okay. Good. And I also went to the foot doctor. So I've been to like this doctor and that doctor, and I went over to get a sonogram on my throat, and I was joking with the lady. I was like, so am I pregnant or not? Is it a boy or a girl? And because I got a sonogram.
So yeah, got it. So you've been doing doctor's appointments, and I was
have been, yes. Nice to know I'm healthy.
Well, talking about throats, we have a very talented guest today who is an amazing singer. As a matter of fact, our guest today is a rapper, an independent hip hop rapper who was nominated for the very prestigious Josie Award for the song Life Again, which we're going to be screening later, which is so great. I'm very excited to welcome him to the show because he's from a borough. He's from Queens originally, and I'm from a borough, and Tim supports the borough of the Bronx. Anyway, our guest today is the incredible indie rapper Ben Bacardi.
Yay!
Hey everybody, thanks for having me.
Ben, how you doing?
Hello, Ben. Look at you, blue skies, huh?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm at the beach right now. The weather's really nice. Just trying to enjoy the last.
Ben. Why don't you just like rub it in? Tim and I are both trapped in New York in separate locations.
You're on Long Island on the beach.
Yes, I'm at Atlantic Beach in Long Island right now.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful. That's gorgeous. There's not a cloud in the sky today either.
No, it's beautiful. Great. There's actually people on the beach like surfing and taking in the sun.
Wow.
Sweet.
Now, have you ever surfed? Have you ever done that?
No, I have not. I've done wave running and jet skiing, but I've not surfed. I bodyboarded.
Well, see, it's time for a new sport, Ben. If you're going to be hanging out on the beach, now you're in Long Island, you said all the time. So let's take up something new. Let's live life on the edge.
Never know.
You just never know. So we're very excited to talk about your rapping career, how this all started. Your background is really interesting. I'm sure that both Tim and myself, we've had a number of rappers on the show. And how did a nice boy from Queens end up becoming a rapper?
Are you insinuating that rappers are not nice boys?
No, I would never do that. And I've met a lot of nice boys, but good comeback. You got 10 points for that one. So how did this come about?
So I grew up in Queens, so around the time when hip hop was really taking off, like in the late 80s, early 90s. And you had a lot of rappers actually from Queens, like LL Cool J, Run DMC, A Tribe Called Quest, 50 Cent.
You're right.
So there's a countless list of rappers, and they grew up like 10, 15 minutes from where I grew up. So it was very surreal to know that these guys are now superstar international stars. And as a teenager or a young teenager, you say, can I do something like that? And then me and my friends, we just started to pick up a pad and pen and started writing and then recording over instrumentals, and it didn't come out really that bad. So we just, kept it on, and 20 plus years later, I'm still here, and
Amazing.
I'm actually, it's more of a young man's game, but I'm still, I'm knocking on the doors now, pretty strong.
Yep. Good.
We're all about knocking on doors. You know what? When you're an artist, there's no such thing as age. And of course, every industry has what we call its prejudices. You have to cast those to the wind and remember what your agenda is, right?
But also one thing that you bring to the table that the younger ones don't is life experience.
That's right.
Yeah, that's in my content and material, I definitely have a lot of experience of life and childhood and a lot of different things.
Yep.
Now you've got like a catalog of something like 100 recorded songs.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's just in the last maybe 18 months. I have more than that, but that's just what's been recorded since I took a hiatus for about 5-6 years, and then when I came back, like in the top of 2024 till now, I have about 90 to 100 recorded songs.
Yeah. That's so impressive. You just said something. You took a hiatus. That's got to be tough because both Tim and I have been doing this forever, and I'm afraid to ever get out of the game because often once you're out of the game, it's very hard to get back in. So, first of all, what made you drop out of the game for 5 years?
Well, I've often did the music for several months, a year or two, and then, when you're trying to do it as a profession and say it doesn't work out, that could come with disappointment, and and then you have to get a regular job, a 9 to 5. So, or with me, I got married, I had kids, so I had a family to support, and with that, over the years, pursuing a music career could really distract that from your family and things like that. So that's probably reasons why in the past I would take time off, because I would say, look, if this is not going to go into a paying career right now, I need to fall back a little bit and focus. And my mind state is so kind of my personality is where I'm not going to do something 30% or 40%. It's going to be 200%. So the last year and a half, 18 months, I'm 200% into the music. And it's not to say it's taking away from my family, but I have actually the time now to be able to dedicate that to the music, and it shows with the results that's been happening.
I love that you're talking about your family because you took time to build a life. Remember, a lot of artists don't ever build a life.
Right.
Obviously, that was really important to you because it is, and you put the time into your family. And now, it's never too late to do your own thing. Now you are doing Ben, and your kids have got to be 10 kinds of proud of you for doing this, and your wife.
Yeah, they love the music that I do. They're excited. They don't want me to get dragged away and go on a world tour or anything like that, which I understand, but that's not happening as of yet. But they love me to be at home. They love spending time with me, but they love the music. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Are any of your kids following in your path, or any of them musicians? Or
not as yet. They're pretty young. They're just barely teenagers, so they're just getting. But from me, they know so much varieties of music. Where a lot of kids their age, they don't know music from the 80s or the 60s or the 70s. Where my kids they grew up with that because I was playing that music since I was since they were very little.
Wow. They're very, very lucky, because you've exposed them to something that other kids are not exposed to.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you see your kids ever following in your footsteps?
I could see my son. He's very he'll tell me when I play a new song for him. He'll be like, "Dad, that's not. You gotta say it this way," or "Dad, you gotta I don't know about this song. I like that one better." So he has a good ear for
that's
it,
cool.
and I'm sure if he wanted to, he could pick it up. If that's
he might be a future producer there.
He could be if he chooses to be. I know he could be.
Does he ever say like, Dad has no riz"?
I love that, Tim.
That's the words they like to use.
Tim got it down.
Yeah, they would say, Dad, you got to stop singing on some of your songs. Like, they don't like when I sing. They just like when I rap. So on some choruses or hooks, I like to sing. And I think I sound okay, but they're like, no, Dad, get someone else to do the singing on that part.
Well, actually, if you need somebody to fill in as a singer, you give me a call.
Yeah, Tim is an amazing singer.
Okay.
And he hasn't made a rap video yet. He's done everything else.
That's true.
Right, Tim?
Hey,
we have to think of a rapper name for you.
It might be a new place that you've never been to before.
Hey, there we go.
And isn't that what it's all about at the end of the day? So what for you, you took a hiatus, you raised a family. What challenges did you encounter along the way being in the music industry, particularly rapping?
Rapping is a very competitive genre in music. So it's like also the rappers will always try to be better than the other rapper, or if you're from New York especially, a lot of people think they can rap or they can produce when they really can't, so there's a lot of critics, who will say you're good, you're not good. So you have to have a thick skin when it comes to being in the hip hop music. There's so much of people who like this type of artist, or they like this type, so it's extremely, I find it critical, as more so than other genres of music.
Right. So from what I'm getting from you, it's more, people are more judgmental about it.
For sure. Yeah, you're a white guy in a black dominated field, or you're older, or you're you're rapping over this type of music. Like it's for everything. There's so much critique that it's sometimes, but with critique and with maybe doors shut, it motivates me also to keep going. I'm not the type to, if someone says we don't like this song or we don't want to work with you, it's not going to make me be sad about it. I just keep going.
Just go find somebody that will work with you.
Right. We find ourselves having those discussions with a lot of the guests we've had on the show in the last couple of weeks. I think with the world being such an upside down and crazy place, and not a lot you can count on anywhere these days, because they made a film called Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's how I feel, navigating through life these days. So it's like, you get a door shut in your face, you just go find another door. Get 3 doors shut in your face, you know what? Maybe repackage what you're doing and go find another door. All right. We can all call our own shots in life. That's what people, and this better than anyone, Ben, you're doing it,
Yeah, definitely.
So you have someone that you collaborate with, Pele. Did I say it correctly?
Yes.
Like the volcano, like Pele, the angry god.
Or the soccer player.
Or the soccer player.
He's been with me for many years. We've been recording since like the early 2000s together. So he's a solo artist, and his solo music is different than my music, but when we collab together, we're kind of in sync, and we have a lot of good songs together.
Well, from what I saw, I love the chemistry between the two of you together. How did the two of you become friends?
Just from the neighborhood. We grew up in the same neighborhood in Fresh Meadows, and a lot of the artists that I do collaborate with are childhood friends, and
so cool.
He's a few years younger than me, but we've always been in the same area, and we always had that one thing in common, which was the music.
Right. Well, and we always say it's really great when you get a chance to work with your friends, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Especially you share similarities.
And there's also kind of that trust factor too.
Yes.
Especially from a long time friend, somebody from your childhood, or somebody that you've known for many, many years, and that's very important too. Somebody that you can rely on.
Yeah, I did some collaborations with some other artists just in the last few weeks or months, and it's nice, but sometimes it's hard you would think just because they're a musician in the same field as you you would think, oh, maybe I'll form a close friendship with them, but it's not always. That's not always the case, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, because musicians are like anything else along a spectrum, all different,
Mm-hmm.
and just because they're a musician doesn't make them part of your tribe.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I find that with artists all the time.
So you mentioned that you have introduced your children to like the 80s and 90s. Who are some of the artists from the 80s and 90s that you?
Yeah, so I don't, so I have a project coming out in the next week or two. It's called 1986, and it's based with a lot of samples and a lot of sounds from the 80s. So
Nice.
I do love hip hop, but I also love rock. I love hard rock. I love pop.
Very cool, right?
Yeah, so from the 80s, like Michael Jackson, Madonna, George Michael, Billy Joel. Like, I love all those artists. I grew up with all the great art from the 80s.
Whitney, don't forget Whitney.
Whitney Houston, for sure. Bobby Brown, New Edition, all those people.
Yes.
Did you get to see Madonna when she did her tour?
I didn't. I follow her sometimes on Instagram, and I see she looks very good. She looks young.
She looks very young.
She's very vibrant.
Madonna is aging backwards. God bless her. You know what? Still producing music. Still, tongues are always wagging about Madonna. There's nobody like her. And for me, I don't go to concerts at like Madison Square Garden. I don't like these big. I'm not that. But you know what? I went with our producer Cameron Cole to see Madonna's show.
I would have definitely loved to see. I never saw her in concert.
It was so good.
Oh, she's amazing. She's
actually one of my favorite artists.
Yeah. Madge. She's an enigma. She's an enigma, Madge. Her energy level's incredible. And it's just watching her, that energy is all over the stage. And
I have a song that I just produced actually last week from Cyndi Lauper, and I was speaking with Eileen. You said that we both, we know who Eileen is, and she said that she knows her, and I'm hoping that maybe she would clear the sample to let me use a little piece of a song that I produced with some sounds from a Cyndi Lauper song. I love a lot of artists from the 80s.
Well, I love the fact that you're using samples from the 80s to create an album, which is that I think would be very marketable across.
Yes, I hope. The only concern is sometimes, often you have to get sometimes those samples cleared, which could be, sometimes it's not directly with the artist. It could be with the you have to go through the manager, the publishing, and then the publishing sold it to another company. It's like going through like a maze to try to get to the right people,
It's very convoluted. So how do you deal with that? Do you have someone that does that for you, or are you approaching them yourself?
It depends on what kind of sample you're trying to get. Like if you're trying to get a Beatles sample or Michael Jackson, there's a great chance that those are not going to clear. Like you could try. You could know Clive Davis or whoever, and it's like it's not gonna happen.
I have met Clive Davis.
You do? Yeah. You know Clive Davis?
But I don't think I could get you permission for one of those.
Oh, you name dropper, you!
Get me signed to Clive Davis, and then he could get me a sample cleared for Michael Jackson. But like you need to try to get more obscure samples. Like there's so much music from. Like I'll listen with Apple Music sometimes a night to like 70 songs and 80 songs where you might have never even heard of the group, or if it was a popular group, you maybe try to get a song that was not so popular, not like a mainstream hit, and you could take a little sound, maybe 3-second sound from there, and you could stretch it out or put it in reverse, and you would never even know where it came from. That's what the better producers do.
Put it in reverse. I never thought about. Wow.
No, me neither. That's very cool.
Wow.
No.
We almost lost you there. What happened there? Did you blow away for a second? My God.
Now, I can't think of the name of the song, but where they used Hound Dog, like Elvis Presley's Hound Dog. It wasn't.
I lost the sound a little bit.
You ain't nothing but a.
Wait, we gotta get our guest back. How is that now? If you hold the phone that way, can you hear us?
I can't hear you guys. I see you guys talking, but I cannot hear you.
You can't hear us.
Okay.
Do you want to go off and come back on again, maybe?
To go out and come back?
Yeah, go out. How about now? No.
Can you hear us now? Can you hear? Can you
Nope.
hear it all?
No, he's not hearing us at all.
Okay. We might need you to cut and then come back in.
Yeah, maybe go off and come back on.
Yeah. Are you going to text him?
I'm going to text him.
Okay. She's going to.
That's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'll text him and you make tea. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, there. He might have.
Okay, I hear you guys now.
Are you back? Great.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what happened with that.
Okay, just don't breathe, Ben.
Okay.
You can't breathe, and don't move from where you are.
I was mentioning about you ain't nothing but a dog.
Hound dog?
Yeah, hound dog. But they cut the word hound out. Now, is that one way around permissions?
If you're sampling, you ain't got nothing. It's still part of it. You know. Yeah, but yeah, it's more. So those are the vocals. You could sample vocals as well as you could sample sounds. They're two different things. But that's an Elvis Presley song, right? So
right.
It would be extremely hard to probably get that cleared, because he's super popular, super famous.
Yeah.
Wow. Now you're working with Soho Records, right?
Tribeca
Records.
Oh, Tribeca.
Yeah, I was on Tribeca Records for the single "Life Again."
Okay,
That's the only thing I put through Tribeca Records.
Okay, yeah, that's Soho Johnny. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have a weird question for you here.
Well, of course you do.
But the difference between rap and hip hop, can you tell me?
Tym Moss.
Because I've asked many people and they can't seem to.
It's kind of similar. Like so rap would probably be more of like the commercial side of the music where it's going worldwide and it's very commercial. Hip hop is more of like the art form.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's like you could say he's a rapper or he does rap music. It's very hard to define. But if you're saying hip hop, hip hop is like the origin. It's it's more of like where it's come from. It's the art form of like graffiti, breakdancing, vocalizations, rapping, DJing. That's like the art form of hip hop. But then rap is more like what it's became,
Okay, so
I don't know if that makes sense.
Hip hop was the original, and rap is a form of hip hop.
Right. Like if you have a script for a movie, that could be like hip hop, but then the movie is actually rap, but it's still like it goes kind of hand in hand. It still like comes from each other,
So are there other forms of, because this is an area, I of course know about, but not nearly an expert like you are. What are the other forms of hip hop that are
there's probably sub genres of hip hop, just like you have hard rock, heavy metal, soft rock, and those are all parts of rock, right? So in hip hop today, you have trap music, you have drill music, you have conscious rap, you have gangster rap. So if you want to like superly narrow it down, for what you're looking for specifically, you probably could do that, but it's all under the same umbrella,
Wow.
Now, when you're writing a song or you come up with an idea for a song, it is like what would you say what are you trying to portray? What message are you trying to get across?
I wouldn't say that I'm trying to relay a specific message. I'm not trying to. I'd never really want to put negative messages but at the same time, if I'm talking about a life experience, and say it was a sad experience, maybe somebody died, or or you're talking about something sad that happened in your life, it's more of a life experience. But I'm not trying to. I'm not really trying to send a message. I'm not like as an artist. I'm just trying to display art.
So you're more of just a life interpreter.
Yeah, a feeling that you have for whatever song you're doing. You might hear a dark beat and you might say, I want to talk about something the dark times that are going on right now. But at the same time, you're just trying to play it as like a picture, like in a movie. You're not trying to make it a message of like you're on CNN and you're reporting, you know, something like that. I'm not trying to. There are rappers or people that do try to put messages in every one of their songs, but that's not. I'm not trying to do that.
A lot of the time, that is what you hear. Do you think yours are then more what you're feeling, maybe more a little emotionally what you might be feeling at the time?
Yeah. What you hear the sound, or you might say, you know what, I want to take a sound from that song that has a great feeling, and I want to put that into a rap version and like display that same feeling that was in that song. You know, there's so many different ways. It's just like, I guess maybe writing a TV show or writing a book. You know, it's like, what's going to be the topic? Or, you know, you could have a Seinfeld TV show, but every single TV show episode might be different from the other one, you know, based off of the topic. Right. So they're just trying to entertain, and that's what I want to do also with my music, is entertain, but at the same time make you think and make you have feelings and feel something about it. You know, a lot of music you could come away with a negative feeling and say that was, you know, they were talking about girls in a bad way, or they were exploiting or endorsing drugs, you know, and I'm not trying to do that. But yeah.
Yeah, so again, you interpret life with your music. So speaking of life, why don't we take a listen to your video Life Again?
Absolutely.
That's a good segue.
Let's take a listen to Life Again by Ben Bacardi.
Let's do it.
I'm high in my hideaway. Please don't take my vibes away. You can't live my life or tell me do it other ways. I went on that 9-9, and I've been on that 5-5-5. I am my hideaway. Please don't take my vibes away. I am my hideaway. You can't take my vibes away. I'm high.
I'm trying to make amends, be better father, better friends. I was 16 just yesterday. Did my life in years get the best of me? My parents are old, hard to recognize. This life, no rules, you can't specialize. I got pain in my eyes. Everybody dies, this days of our lives. My baby boy cries, wants his daddy to be understanding, wants wife to be less demanding. My 12-year-old puts on Sephora. What happened to Dora the Explorer? She's gone like beavers and dope rhymes. $1 pizza and dope rhymes. Bring it back like it's 96. All day and drinking licks. Best hip-hop of all time. Fly line after fly line. Now it's just straight hot trash. Do you remember when you heard the last smash? You know you can't remember. All days are cold like December, but we not gonna fold. Take my hand and please just hold.
I wanna cry, but I'm not gonna cry today. I wanna smile, but I'm not gonna smile today. Sometimes I hide, but I'm not gonna hide today. Sometimes I lie, but I'm not gonna lie today. I can be that vibe, that real fire, that live wire, that on top that I know what you desire. Views in my life, girl, we gonna make it to that 5-5-5.
They say he got the glow like the name Bruce Lee. Got something under his sleeve when everybody else is sound asleep. Age been up for the whole week. Manifesting like an astronaut on the mission. Rockin' launching through the glass ceiling. Words powerful, read between the lines of freedom. I don't trust no mental prison. Who is you to tell me a vision? Had to be the one to break the television. Run the shot, still locked in the prison. They live, no job in his spirit. I'm driving with passion. Somebody give me credit, no debit. I said it, that's the film, this and put me in the credits. This is so beyond who the riches. Breaking through the glitches, read between the lines of the scripture.
I wanna cry, but I'm not gonna cry today. I wanna smile, but I'm not gonna smile today. Sometimes I hide, but I'm not gonna hide today. Sometimes I lie, but I'm not gonna lie today.
Yeah.
Wow. First of all,
yeah,
I love the dance tune just to begin. I'd be at a club, I'd be dancing and dancing and dancing to that. But you had me at Dora the Explorer. I never heard that. I just loved you for that moment.
Yeah, there was so many great lines in there.
There were so many great lines.
And going to Sephora, what happened to Dora the Explorer?
Right, Tim, I love that.
I was just 16 yesterday, and
right.
I mean, there's a lot of life in there. You know,
I love the way you look at things in your music. Yeah. It's great, really.
Thank you.
You know.
I didn't know that it was going to get nominated for an award, but
Josie Award. I mean, this is amazing.
Yeah, I'm really happy, you know, and I don't know what it could do for me, but you know, maybe it could open some other doors, some bigger audiences, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying before. The one thing that you've got going is life experience. You've got decades of life, whereas the younger ones don't get that. I was just 16 yesterday. You know, my daughter's growing up, and her priorities are changing, and you know. Oh no, we lost him.
And there we go. We lost.
Are you still there?
Oh my goodness.
We lost the feed.
Now it's just you and me, babe. You and me against the world.
He's really incredible with that. How
much did you love that? Right. Right. I can see he's ready.
There you go. Are you back?
Do you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Can you hear us?
I don't hear you.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
It's like we're playing charades. I see she's saying, oh no, and he says
well, just keep trying. Maybe go off and come back on again. It's hard. But Tim, I just love the video. You know, I love
that was very cool.
You know,
and again, I like the message. I like the message of the video.
Me too.
It you know, again, it's for us, for older people who can grasp it. You know, we can.
Yeah, it's really, really positive. You know, I'd love to know if Ben is performing.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us
now?
I see you guys, but I don't hear you.
He still can't hear us. What happened to Ben's vocals in there? My God, we have a rapper on and he can't hear us. What does that mean, Tym Moss?
The audio.
It's the audio. It's all the fun and games that come with streaming, right? It's all in a day's work, everybody.
Yeah.
So Tim, what else is going on new in your life? How are you embracing the fall? We're in the fall. Can you believe it?
I love it. That's one thing I wanted to ask you was in the Catskills, when you were up in the Catskills, is the foliage, is it changing? Is it pretty?
No, I thought it would be. Not
probably the next week. The next week or two should be gorgeous up there.
We need for it to get cold. Unfortunately, I can't be up there because I have a big family reunion I'm looking forward to on Saturday. And Sunday, a birthday party. But Sunday is also the blessing of the animals. People should know that are listening at St. John the Divine. Dorothy Bishop, if you're listening in, your two little chihuahuas need to be blessed. I see your friend Suze is on here. Suze, you need to take your animals to be blessed at Blessing of the Animals. If you're in New York, St. John the Divine does an incredible blessing of the. It's beautiful. They have you ever done it, Tim?
No,
If you're around on Sunday, people come that don't have animals.
Well, I used to stop by St. John the Divine because next to it is like this little, like the fountain or the sculpture.
Yeah, the whole little park and the church, and it's
of all the of Noah's Ark and it's this amazing sculpture. And I used to just kind of sit there every now and then, and all of a sudden one day this white peacock comes flying over. A white peacock actually came flying over, and it just kind of befriended me. And so every time I would pop by there, it seemed like she would come over and say hi. So
well, you've had that before, but it didn't have the word P in front of it. Oh, I said that. I'm just joking. I'm just playing with you a little bit there, Tym Moss. They do have a wonderful animal procession every year where they have a camel and an elephant. They came from my friend's place upstate, Dawn Animals. Their animals are all on TV, and those are the animals that are in the procession.
I think we might have him back.
Is he back? Let's see the sun.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Ben? Ben, speak to us.
Ben, can you hear us?
Okay, I see him
Cool.
trying to get on here. Nope.
Yeah, he's getting close. He's getting
close, but no cigar. But yeah, if you can on Sunday, I'm going to bring Nugget to be blessed.
Oh, fun. Okay.
I can't bring all of them because I just have too many.
Bring pictures.
Oh, I always put up the pictures, right? I had a picture.
Bring the pictures of each one so they can each be blessed.
That's a really good idea, Tim. Thank you. Of course, I have those pictures. One year, the picture of Mr. Fudge being blessed, he wasn't the nicest Chihuahua. I bring him up to the priest, and the priest puts his hand over Mr. Fudge's head and was about to say, God bless, like this little creature or something. You got to know with a Chihuahua, you never approach them with an open hand over their head. And of course, Mr. Fudge bit the priest, and I had it all over the internet.
I think we might do it. Ben, are you back?
I'm back. I hope
Ben,
you
you're
didn't.
back.
And
There
we
you
can
are.
see you.
I had some run-ins with
Traffic ticketers.
Can you hear us, Ben?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. All right.
So
Are you
had
good?
some run-ins? You had some run-ins with
No,
who?
I'm some
you're driving.
parking ticketer. I wasn't,
okay.
but now I am. But I'm back.
So Ben, I'm going to just make a little suggestion to you. Can you just pull your car over? Because we have found in a moving vehicle.
I am.
Okay, great.
No, I am.
You're parking it, right? It's good. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm parked.
Okay,
Yes.
Ben is parked. And you know what? You're all comfy. You're not out in the elements. I almost said elephants. Those elephants that roam the beach, Ben.
But yeah, we were just certainly enjoying your video for Life Again. What a fun song, a great song.
Yes.
And it
Why
looked like
did you
you
choose
friends
to
were
call
having such a good time.
Yeah. Why did you choose to call it Life Again?
Because it's just like you're living your life, but then I was talking about my kids, so I'm kind of like reliving my life through them, through their eyes of when I was 10 again or when I was 11 again. So it's kind of like a recircle of when you were living your life as a young child.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you're doing it again. It's like the full circle of life. Now, I wanted to ask you this. Growing up, I don't know, what's your ethnic background?
It's Russian and Hungarian.
Russian and Hungarian.
But my parents are from here. They're born here.
We're born here, but you're Russian and Hungarian. Were your parents supportive of how much you liked rap music and that you got into rap music? Like, what was that like for you?
They were supportive as far as me listening to the music, but as far as doing it is a different story.
Yeah.
They don't mind me doing it as a hobby, but I can't say they're in so much favor of doing it further than that.
Yeah, I can understand.
But
if it's bringing in a lot of money, maybe they would change their minds. But
right.
We've heard that from a number of artists on here. Once they started making money at the thing that they love, then, of course, the parents jump on board. Listen, I'm a parent too. We all, and you are now, you want your kids to do well, but you also want them safe. And, I grew up in a house where you had to have what my mother always said, and Tim's heard this, you have to have something you can fall back on. She wanted me to go work for the phone company. I would have put a gun to my head. But I tell this story because it's, you got to have, you come from a home where you got to have something to fall back on. And often parents, being from a different generation or a different life experience themselves, they want their kids to do well. And they want them to be safe. So, but I mean, look at what you're doing, right? You're raising a family, and now I would imagine your wife is totally behind it. Yeah. Mostly.
I'm not gonna say she's totally behind it. She likes the fact that I'm doing something I really love.
Good.
But it's a difficult genre. It's not.
It is.
It's not. It's still not so welcome everywhere. So it's not like I'm a pianist or a guitarist or it's a little different. It's a lot more edgy, so it's not it's more of a younger type person's music. And you know, sometimes it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask both of you, Tim. I'm sure. What was Eminem's movie called? 8 Mile, or
8 Mile.
Did you see it, Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm sure, Ben, that you saw it. What they showed is all those contests that Tim was talking about. Those
battles.
Yeah. The battles. But are there places where I love this song, Life Again? It's a great dance song. Are there places that you and Pele and whoever the other person was in the video with you are there places where you can go and perform that, where people can come see you?
Yeah, I mean, I know there are places, there's showcases that we're trying to get into, but you could go to what's called an open mic, and you know, if they have open mic somewhere, you can get up and perform, you know. But it's that the Life Again song also is, if you ever notice, the beat that you like, it's not really your typical hip hop beat. It's like more of electronic sound. Yeah. So here in New York, it's kind of difficult to get that. It's more of like a pop sound.
It is.
So here in New York, you have a lot of underground, edgy, very strong hip hop type of sound. You know, so we're trying to find our audience of where we could go. We might have to perform that with maybe more of a pop audience or like a rock audience, because your typical hip hop crowd might not take to it as much.
Right. I understand that.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, but you know what? I'm thinking you may be onto something new, and it's much harder, but like that video is danceable. It's got the rap in it. It's got the positive message. It's got the good stuff. And I believe anyone that would be at a dance club would be listening to those lyrics and dancing to that song. And that's really good. You can't dance to
I hope so.
Music. Yeah. You know, I think you're onto something.
Now, I got a question for you. I got a question for you here. Ben Bacardi, as in the rum, Bacardi. Yeah. Is Bacardi your real name, or was it your stage name, and why?
No, it's a stage name. Ben is my real name, though.
So you picked Bacardi because of the rum and the.
Do you like rum?
I didn't pick it specifically because I just love Bacardi rum. It was just more of, at the time of picking the name, a lot of hip hop artists were choosing aliases on top of their already rap name that they had. And so I already had other rap names prior to this, and I thought of the name Ben would go with another last name, you know, and I tried out a few different ones, and I do like Bacardi from time to time, and so I was drinking a Bacardi Breezer at this time when I thought of the name.
That's the story.
And I said,
it works.
And the name just stuck. Yeah, it just stuck, and it stayed ever since.
Well, that name certainly works. It certainly works.
It's a great name. Mine would be Wendy Tito. I love Tito. It's just a vodka that blends with my body chemistry perfectly. Believe it or not, I get an aftertaste with including Grey Goose, which everyone loves, right? I get an aftertaste with it. But Tito is like, I love that you use an alcohol, and it flows off your tongue. Ben Bacardi.
Yep.
I just hope that if I make it big enough that Bacardi lets me use it.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
But,
you might need to get permission. I would think with the name that would be fine.
Yeah, and change.
But you might need to get permission, like you do with samples.
Right.
Right.
But you could also change the spelling, right? Can't you get permission if you?
You could. Yeah, and at the same time, you know, Bacardi might be a common last name somewhere. You know, they might not be the only ones that have that name.
It's very Italian. We'll have the Bacardis over for spaghetti tonight and meatballs. The Bacardi.
But I like your mission.
Me too.
No ghosts, no excuses, all grind.
Yeah. Right. In your own words too. That. How have you used your ability and understanding of rap music to get you through dark times? We all have dark times, right? What constitutes like a dark time for you, and how did the music help you? Because I know our listeners would want to know that.
Yeah, so I've dealt with depression and anxiety in the past, and not to say I don't deal with it anymore, but doing the hip hop, doing the music just in general, something that I love doing, and it was a hobby, and now I'm trying to do it more professional. Doing any type of job that you like and enjoy that job, it will make you happy. So
Absolutely.
I just encourage people. You don't need to do it at something as a profession, but if you're feeling depressed or you're feeling anxious, try to find something that you would really enjoy doing. I like to play basketball. I like to go to the beach. I like to do whatever, shopping. And while you're doing those things, sometimes you're not. It takes your mind off of the things that could be bothering you. But it's doing it in a positive way as opposed to in a negative way. So that's what music and hip hop has done for me, where it's taken my mind, from maybe sometimes you could be depressed for no reason or anxious for no reason at all, but so if you replace those feelings with something that's really enjoyable, it could actually take those feelings away permanently. And that's what it's done. Hip hop has done, and music has done for me for a few years now straight.
Right.
Yeah, I love that.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I was diagnosed with severe anxiety and depression many years ago. It's a long story, but I remembered that I was an entertainer. I had forgotten for 20 years. And once I decided to get back into entertainment and see what happens and start singing and start acting and get back into it,
what you love,
whole life and the whole perspective changed.
Yeah, and that's how I kind of feel like now. So, it's if you're doing something that you love, people will also be able to tell that. They'll tell you really love what you're doing, and it shows, and and you're happy for that. And you can make other people also. You could get them in a better mood. You can make them feel good, and that makes you feel good also.
Yep.
Absolutely. It's a great way to share it with your audience. So what's on deck for you going forward? Like, you know what? I always ask people, what's your 5-year plan? No pressure.
No pressure. I wouldn't say I have a 5-year plan, but in the next year, I'm going to be releasing this project I mentioned called 1986. That's going to be in the next week or two. It's my first actual project, not just releasing singles. Nice. So it's going to be a 10-song project. Music videos are going to follow with that. And then in the next months to come, I plan on releasing a 1987, a 1988, and a 1989 with the hopes of building up an audience. Yeah. Then after that, I will release a full-length project that's just with more original sounds, not samples, of a lot of original of my music. Also, with the album that's coming out in 1986, we're going to release merch with that, with the album cover as well as the back cover on hoodies, tees, and long tees.
You need to have all of that now.
Yeah. And then also November 2nd is the Josie Music Awards in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm nominated for Best Hip Hop Song of the Year for Life Again. Incredible. And I'll be there in person, so I hope that works out. And then, who knows, with the music, there's so much. I'm doing a lot of stuff with sync licensing now, putting a lot of my songs out there to possibly be on TV shows and in movies, and hopefully that works out. Doing different collaborations, and ultimately I want to get signed to a label. Doesn't have to be a major label, but a label that could market and promote me in the right way. Of course. Where I could put out my music, and it could go to a big enough audience where I could get compensated for that, go on, do shows if I want to do that. And that's what I'd ultimately want to do, and with that, I would be able to do music full time. And that would be my 5-year plan or even 1-year plan.
That's a lot for 1 year. It's a big.
But now going to Nashville with the awards, that'll be a great networking opportunity.
Yeah.
Right
there. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, now I don't know how the Josie Award. I've heard of them, but do you get to do a live performance when you're down there?
I'm not performing at the award show because they've handpicked like maybe 6 or 7 artists to do that. But I know there's like 100+ nominations of different genres and different things like that. But I do know I'm going to be down there for like 3 or 4 days, and I heard it's a pretty big nightlife town and things like that. So I would love to, while I'm down there, perform for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be an opportunity for you to perform locally down there in any event. I think it's really great,
Yeah, and just broaden my audience to that area where they might not be familiar with me so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you got a lot of bright lights.
And if you do get a gig down there, like if you're going to be playing somewhere, there's a lot of recording industry, a lot of record labels there that you might be able to get somebody from those labels.
Yeah, I heard about that. Nashville is pretty big. It's like behind New York and LA.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Nashville's huge. Well, we've got a couple of comments on here. Our amazing friend Suze Velgenero, incredible designer, designs for performers and others, says hello dolls, and says all would love to. And of course, Rose Trentman says hello folks and lots of music. We really love the discussion with you. Now I lost Tim. It's like, are you still with me there, Ben? I'll take anybody today. Ben, you know what? I really like this background.
Everybody's popping in and out.
They're dropping like flies. Ben, I think this is a great background for you for streaming. You can be heard really clearly. And the frame is really nice. We don't get a lot of people in cars. The only one we did was Molly Mullen. He was in a moving car, and it was a disaster. You never want the car moving. But you in the car like this, I'm loving this whole frame. What do you think of this, Tim?
Yeah, it's great. Looks good. Cool.
It looks really great.
Now, one thing I wanted to ask you, so you've always liked rap. You've always had an appreciation for rap. How, in your opinion, how has rap changed over the years?
It's changed a lot. From the 80s, it was more local and national, and in the 90s, it made it international. From your Notorious Bigs to Puff Daddies to Wu-Tang Clan, they started touring the world and started getting fans international. And then now, you don't only have musicians or rappers from the United States. You have rappers that are in the UK and rappers that are, in South America. And they even consider Bad Bunny a rapper. And he's going to be performing at the Super Bowl. And he's from Puerto Rico.
This is huge.
Right. So, so you have rap done in different languages. Also now with streaming services, I have producers that I work with that are in other countries, and they never even been to America, but they grew up on hip hop, and they're in the Ukraine, they're in, all different countries of Europe, so I have someone that designed my album cover, and he's in South Africa, so it's definitely become international, and it's just, there's so much diversity in hip hop where, that's why when people, they say, oh, you're a rapper, it's, it's gangster rap, they're thinking about stuff from 30 years ago. It's it's not, the music has evolved so much now.
Absolutely,
it's so much more than just one thing.
Yeah. Well, you keep doing what you're doing because it works. It works for you. I think it's great.
You.
And let us know if you're going to be performing live anywhere in the New York area. We're
in the New York area, so And if there's any stuff going on in New York, let me know about it. And if I come out there, maybe I could do something impromptu, even if I'm not on the bill.
That would be great. Yeah, there's so many venues here that do open mics, and this is a dumb question on my part, but for the music to play, what do? You put it on the computer and play it, and then just how does it all work?
Oh, you could do it from your phone.
If you're if you're performing, I have all the files and stuff like on my phone.
It's the same what we do, Tim, when we perform. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just give it to the DJ, and they just play it.
We know that route.
Don't forget to put it on airplane mode, because if you get a call in the middle of the song, it fucks it up.
Oh
yeah, I think that's what I should have done with this interview too. I didn't, and I think that been some technical difficulties.
No
we
worries.
did it. It was great. It was
great interview, and it's interesting. You know, if everything were the same all the time, we would all get bored, wouldn't we? Ben, thank you so much for being with us today. Enjoy the rest of your day at the beach. I'm sorry you got a parking ticket. We're low budget,
It's
so
right.
we
It's
can pay
worth
it
it.
for you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes, Ben Bacardi, thank you so very much.
All right, and the best of luck to you. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Bye-bye.
And don't sign off. Don't sign off yet.